Why Harvard University says it's a good idea to own a home. Hi, this is Clint with the Stitser Real Estate Group, and before we begin, I want to call your attention to two links on my blog. First, if you're interested in buying or investing in real property, please click on the Search Now link. Next, if you're interested in selling real property, please click on the Property Valuation link. So let's get right to it. Why does Harvard think it's a great idea for you to own a home? Of course, we are promoting responsible home ownership, and so if it's a good fit and you're able, here are the top reasons that the Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies has identified that you should own a home. Now, they broke it into two categories. The first is financial, and the second is emotional. So here we go. Let's start with the financial. First, housing is typically the one leveraged investment available. Now, call me crazy, but name one other investment where you can get low fixed rate 30-year financing that has a history of the underlying asset appreciating 3% per year over the long term. There isn't one. So that's why it's the number one reason. Second, you're paying for housing whether you own it or whether you rent it, especially in the markets where it's cheaper to own than it is to rent. This statement makes a whole lot of sense. Number three, owning is usually a form of forced savings. What do they mean by that? Well, if you're making a payment every month and a portion of that payment is going towards paying down the principal of your debt, then in essence, it's a savings account because you're building equity. Number four, there are substantial tax benefits to owning. Now, of course, this is a conversation to have with your CPA. The most obvious is the mortgage interest tax deduction, and there are others that certain people qualify. So again, please speak with your CPA on that one. And then lastly, owning is a hedge against inflation. Not everyone thinks about this, but if you're concerned about the rate at which the United States is printing money, then owning a home, which is a giant commodity, it's a mix of hard products and labor, can be a great hedge against a weakening dollar. Now let's go ahead and dive into the emotional reasons. Number one, owning a home is a good way to build up wealth that can be passed along to your family. Let's think about that. There's 30-year fixed financing for an asset that's proven to go up 3% per year over long term. Yes, it has oscillations, but long run, 3% per year appreciation, and you got to pay for housing one way or another. So it's a way that one can create wealth that can be passed down along their family and give security to the next generation. It's pretty awesome. Number two, you'll have a physical structure providing space and safety to you and your family. Look, shelter is one of the basic human needs, and having a home where you and your family can have that shelter is obviously a great thing. Number three, it means having a good place to raise children and provide them with a good education. You know, my college football coach told me that home is the first and last place of education. So having a safe, secure, stable place to raise kids and provide that main source of education is really valuable. Number four, it gives you control over what you do with your living space, like renovations and updates, and more importantly, whether you stay or not. I mean, we've all heard the horror story of a landlord that got into a difficult situation and had to sell the property and was unwilling to renew a lease. And sometimes people had to move out of a school district their kids were well ingrained in, or move farther away from work. Whatever it is, having control of that space and the decision power, whether you stay or whether you go, can really be a big deal in a lot of people's lives. So there you have it. According to Harvard, there are the top financial and emotional reasons for owning a home. This is Clint with the Stitser Group, wishing you great success in all your real estate ventures. Thanks for watching.